Let me ask Doug. Why do you Jesse thump, Doug?
Part of me wants to be right,
Yeah.
and you when you see it, you know how you see the truth,
Yeah.
and you know that person, or at least you think that person's right, and you want to be right. I want to be right.
That's the answer right there, in my opinion. I think people do it, and the reason why I've done it is because I wanted so badly to be a man and be right that I almost lie in denial. Just to speak it, just to say that I know, just to pretend that I have it because I'm so miserable. You know what I mean? And meanwhile, there's no misery. It doesn't exist. It's just from a thought, right? But the whole time I'm like, man, I just want to be right. I want to be a man. I want to be courageous. I want to be brave, just like I believe that man is. Jesse, go ahead, finish.
And every time I've done that, it's always been at the wrong time. The timing is just off.
Exactly.
There's something just wrong about it. And people do look at you like,
what's wrong with you?
Weird.
Yeah, and then they'll see you the next day sinning. You know what I mean? It's just, this looks bad, but that's the only reason why, is that there's something desperate in us that wants to be better so bad that we'll copy another person. That's exactly what it is. And then we'll just be thumping whoever it is. Pastor thumping, Bible thumping, whatever it is, because we're just so desperate. But here's the thing, we're so busy trying to hide being desperate that we end up looking desperate to the rest of the world anyway. So that's why I said, like, just stop. Because nobody wants that, like, I almost use a millennial term, smoke. I said, nobody really wants that smoke. But they're like, what was smoke? But nobody really wants that, like, that confrontation anyway. Nobody really wants confrontation unless there's something in you that's a little disturbed. You want confrontation, right? And there's a time for confrontation, but it's not necessary. It's not a standard of God to go create confrontation. You don't even need to do it. Like, just be quiet, and then you'll know when to speak and how to speak, and you allow yourself to just grow and be off like most people are. James, there's a question or something?
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Let me go to James, and then I'm going to try to answer Jesse's biblical question.
There's a super chat from analyst Ayi. Ask Joel, when does the flesh end and the spirit begin?
When does the flesh end and the spirit begin? I don't think this, to me, it doesn't seem like a end or begin. I do think that we can die to the flesh like how Jesus died to the flesh, right? But I don't think that there's an end or a begin. I think that they simultaneously, like for me, the ego exists only because we believe the thoughts. Like we give the ego life. And the ego is like emotions, feelings, and all that stuff. When we believe the lies, the whispers, it awakens those feelings, right? But when we don't believe them and we let the thoughts go and we endure is when the spirit comes out. So I think that, in my opinion, they're simultaneously there. But the more and more we die daily to the flesh, like they said, the more we recognize the thought as a lie, the more we don't make those decisions that wouldn't help us. The more that we are on that track, the more the ego dies and the more the spirit can come to the forefront, right? And that's why there's people who, let's just say, work out. I'll use the example as they work out for a year, right? And they're gonna feel healthier than the next person simply because they've disciplined and they've done it consistently enough to now their body is starting to recognize that this is the way to go. I feel better. I have more energy. And that's the same thing for me with the spirit, is the more you deny the flesh or the ego, then the more the spirit will eventually come out. So, And then one day you'll realize you understand so much, and you understand that this is a lie and this is a lie, and you catch it, that you no longer, the ego will leave. It's gone, right? In my opinion, because there's nothing that's feeding it anymore. And then you're walking on water. I'm trying to walk on water.